Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about your light and how it will blind people and everything that you should know about your light, especially as it increases and as it grows. Coming to my channel, you're going to learn a lot about moving closer to God, and you're going to learn a lot about moving closer to the angels. Now, when it comes to expanding your light, you're in a world full of people who don't have light, and people who do have light, even if they do have light, it's dim. That's why there's a concept of twin flames, which I have explained about. It's the concept of two lights. Now, in the concept of two lights, that won't be a thing if one person's not a light. Now, I can safely explain more about that in another video in another time. So, in this video, I'll be talking about what it means for your light to shine bright. And it's not exactly what you think it means. And it's not always going to be very happy or fun, because being a light, you're going to blind people. You're flat out going to blind people. And I'm going to tell you that now, you're going to blind people. It's something you have to get used to, especially when you work with crystals. Coming from someone who has multiple crystals, a lot of people I've seen who are in darkness or trying to move out of darkness into light, they really can't pass certain tests that the crystals are offering them. Now, God made crystals, and crystals are cheat codes to basically getting your blessings. Now, why do people say there's crystal chaos after you have 3 crystals online? It's because people who are dark, or people not in a good place, or people not of light, when they use crystals, it'll force them to become light, and it aggravates things. So they either have a choice of going back into the darkness or becoming a brighter light. There's no in between. Crystals expand your light dramatically, especially when worn as a necklace. Why as a necklace? Your crown chakra is here. When you have a crystal as a freeform crystal, it's not on you. They should be directly on your chakras working. I have videos about that too. When you have a crystal as a bracelet, it works wonderfully, but that's one side of your body unless you yin-yang them, that's why I have matching crystals from each side of my body on 2 different parts of my body. So they're all the same crystals, just on 2 different sides. And I'm kind of switching up the designs, if you guys can tell. I'm actually coding the crystals. If you guys can tell, which there's certain codes of light in there. But what does it mean for you to blind people? Well, when people get crystals from FloridaStoneman.com, and yes, my website, because this is probably the last time I'll say it, I'm not going to recommend other websites because there's a lot of fakes out there, and I won't be responsible for that. I'm responsible for what I make, and what I make is authentic and real. That's probably the last time I'll say that for a very long time. So, crystals from my website, I can guarantee, because they come from me. They come from these. They come from my hands, which come from Mother Earth, which don't come from a lab. Why is there cheap Laudamar out there? Because I see Laudamar that's $20, and shipping is as much as a Laudamar, so that person's making $2 or $3. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, anyone? This last time I talk about this, but when you get fake crystals, they won't work because they're fake. Or if they're lab made, then they're not going to work. Simple as that. You can pretend, but it's not going to work. That's why I believe God let so much moldavite that's fake be in the world, because people know it's supposed to be gifted, or people are not in the right place to get it, and they'll try to get it from themselves anyway. So he put some safety precautions in place so people flat out don't get moldavite who are not supposed to have moldavite. People will have moldavite their entire lives and never be able to tell that it's not real. I'm not going to say I don't want to break it to you, because sometimes your angels just have it like that for you, for your spiritual protection. And if you're meant to find out if you have fake gemstones or fake moldavite, which I tell people to get it gifted, then they'll let you know when it's time. But more into the topic about your light and shining people and blinding people, this is something that I have personally have experienced myself. I remember on my crystal journey, I would only wear a while ago, I only wear a certain set of crystals when I go out, because I heard of crystal chaos and like, what happens? And you can't wear the crystals together because they'll cancel out. They grow next to each other in the ground, but people still think they all cancel each other out. That's why God put them to grow on top of each other and with each other and next to each other, so we can wear them. That makes sense. No, it doesn't. When it comes to crystals, these are literally... Crystals are something that's in heaven. It's talked about several times, and I'll have more very specific scripture I'll probably put on the walls because I don't want to get dyslexic with words and be like, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm quoted as being wrong in future videos, which I always say in my videos. You can go back to a video from 3 years ago for myself right now, and the information will still be accurate. It'll still be right. I only say things if they're right, if they're correct. If they're not correct, then I won't teach it. That's why so many spiritual people out there who's teaching wrong information get hit by such hard karma. It's because when you teach something wrong, it's going to come back to you, but it's not coming back to you because to be mean. It's coming back to you so you correct it. So there are several different scriptures about crystals being in heaven, crystals being in heaven, structures being made of crystal. It's very prominent that crystals are in heaven. Now, I always associate crystals with the heavens because they're like an advanced technology. They're more specific. Herbs are more so of the earth. So crystals is more so of like its energy is more robotic in the sense that it works more in the sense of because it knows what it has to do to help you move closer to the highest version of yourself, to put you closer to God. Or versus an herb, herbs are basically X-spirit. So basically the spirit of an herb is because the plant was alive. Even science knows plants are alive, etc. So that plant passes, that energy's there. It's not operating like a crystal. So crystals will always be stronger than herbs in that sense. When it comes to what happens when you start wearing multiple crystals, you start shining. If you ever pay attention to, well, I'm not going to say. For people who can hear angels or people... I'm not going to say who can hear demons because I train you guys to not be able to even perceive demons or hear demons because you don't want that. Those things are liars and they'll try to break everything about your life up. But the thing about that is angels, the thing about demons, they're always making fun of angels. Oh, they shine so brightly. Oh, yeah, look at, and they'll say, oh, look at Michael. Look, he's shining today. He's shining. It's a backwards, because they'll make fun of him because they're in the darkness because they can't be him. It's like, oh, look at that Rolls Royce. Oh, it's too white. Oh, look, it's reflecting the sun off the. It's like bald because it's so white, and the people will make fun of something like, but it's still a Rolls Royce, okay? It's still a Rolls Royce. It doesn't have bumper stickers or it's not beat up or anything like that. It's a nice car, and the car doesn't have to speak. It can just park there, and people will still throw bad remarks at it because it's higher up on the list of cars, right? Same thing with angels. Angels are shining bright. When you have angels and they wrap around you, people will feel that. That's why people, even if you don't wear crystals until you come to my channel, even if you don't wear crystals, then there's always like a deterrence of people around you who are able to approach you and people who are not able to approach you. Think about that. So mainly without crystals, because crystals help improve your light, but without crystals, you have a lot of angels. Angels wrap around you and you shine with them. But what happens if you begin to shine past... Oh, this is amazing. Goosebumps. What happens when you shine past most humans, the most average of humans? I'm not going to say you're better than other people at all because that's not true. But most humans don't crave to shine bright. Oh, this is an amazing topic. Goosebumps. I'm very happy about this. Is because what happens when a human craves light and they want to become light and they want to embody light. They want to shine. They want to illuminate just like an angel does. That person becomes angelic. Oh, it's an amazing thing when a human craves to move closer to God and become the highest version of themselves. They almost become like a superhuman. That's amazing. And I calm myself down. They almost become like a superhuman. So, in that sense, the human who craves light, even the Kabbalah talks about this. So, in Kabbalistic traditions, it's a concept of light filling into one's vessel and it's you should study that too. Study in different Kabbalistic traditions about their concept of light filling a vessel. So basically a vase. It's a beautiful vase, but the vase was not always full of light. It had lights around it that made the vase shine, your angels. And then the vase is you. The lights making the vase shine is your angels, and most importantly God, because God will send the angels and strengthen them to illuminate you to blessings and everything good. But what happens when the vase starts shining? Within. So now you have a vase. It's like a jack-o'-lantern vase. I don't know how else to explain that, but now there's light coming out of the vase, and it's a lot of light. So it's attracting a lot of blessings. It's attracting so many things that normally that vase would never have been able to attract. But now that vase is illuminating. It's something none other. And you better believe you take your light with you to the astral realm when you pass over. You have extra abilities. So what will happen when your light, and why is it so important for your vessel to shine bright? It attracts everything you ever want into your life. It becomes yours. So, like I said, I'm not going to teach about Kabbalistic traditions at all, but it's worth studying. The concept of light is basically that you're able to hold more light in your vessel. You'll have more tests, you'll push away more people, but you'll have every aspect of anything you ever wish for in your life become yours through the Lord. How amazing is that? So, you want a happy family? Your family becomes happier. You want to improve your mentality gets healthier. Bad thoughts out the window. They don't even come in anymore. Or they come in very rarely, but you know how to handle them, and the light shines brightly enough to scare them off. Spiritual protections, you don't have to worry about that because your angels are taking care of it, and the crystals you wear are helping your angels take care of it. So everything you ever want is in your life now. But you continue to improve, you continue to make new goals, because when you have something that you've achieved, you set a higher achievement. That's how normally we're supposed to do it. But what's the cost of that? Through the Lord, through the light, through everything that's good and through everything that's right, the cost is people who are bad for you will get clipped. They will not be allowed to come near. This could mean that when you go out in public, people who are bad, people who are normally supposed to and able to evil eye you, when they try, they're not able to. Instant backlash, and it doesn't look like anything obvious. So the person, and I mean, to a certain point, when I wear this many crystals, some people, and I'll give you the facial expression soon, very soon, but people will look at you and just like, they'll look sick to their stomach, like, and for no reason. Like, they might not even see your crystals, or your crystals might be hidden, and they're like, and they'll turn away, they'll run away. So you have a theme of people turning away, running away, not able to say anything when they look at you, not being able to say hi. It could be a person you were nice and friendly with, but that just doesn't, there's no reason as to why anymore. That person used to be able to say hi, now they're just like, or they'll be like this. Or when they wave to you, they'll give you the side wave, like, hey. Or like, hey. Or you'll say, how are you? And they'll be like, or they'll just, and there's no explanation for this. So this video is providing explanation for when people start wearing crystals and your light starts expanding, everything you want is coming to you. People who are supposed to block that can't. They can't. They literally can't. And this concept of light is actually something physical too. I'm not going to say anything physical because I'm not a medical doctor, Disclaimer, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm talking about in a sense that light illuminates from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. So people essentially at a point will look at you and they'll just be like this, like they'll cover their faces, they'll kind of like, they'll squint, and I see this all the time, especially and I don't take it personally, I take it that the person might be in a dark place, etc. I hear this from multiple other people. Someone who messaged me today, and I've had multiple messages on this, like, why are people looking at this? I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm in traffic, and I actually put on a new necklace that I put on my website. It was malachite, and a woman in the traffic just, I'm not even driving. I look over, and the woman looked at me, and she just went, like, and then gave me the finger. I'm like, what was that? And I started talking to God. I'm like, God, what was that? And it started becoming more obvious. I'd have people who would normally walk up to me in the gym, for example, just like, they look like they bite their tongue. It's called a pan face. They're like, and they'll have this like weird facial expression, like, and it doesn't look right because they're being blinded. because they're being kept away from you, because you have many angels around you, and this is for people moving closer to God, or on the track to being moved closer to God. So you're one way or another going to be moved closer to God, because we're all going to a very similar destination. So we're gonna meet him one way or another, but where you stand is based on your free will. So when it comes to that, as you move yourself closer to God, your light expands. All these tests, all these spiritual tests that you're getting are to make your light brighter and more resistant to darkness. So back then when someone was trying to put out your light, it might go out for a day and come back on. Versus now, when someone tries to put out your light, it flickers. Or it just barely, it flickers for a second like this. Oh, that person tried to put out, we're like, oh, hi, hello, nice try. So this video might just do a lot of explaining for people, because that's that. When your light shines bright, it's blinding people. And you're gonna be able, this will make more sense, especially when you get crystals from my website, floridastoneman.com. You're going to see people change, especially black tourmaline. Especially black tourmaline. Let me say it for a third time, especially black tourmaline. People will just have the pen face. You will see it and experience it for yourself. People will start talking in a language that's not their language, because they can't talk like, and they'll just like, I've heard all different kind of stories. People at front desks, receptionists, etc. People who are supposed to be mean and nasty to you are no longer able to. When your light shines bright, when your light shines bright and you illuminate, people of darkness can't come near you like that, because God loves you and he's wrapping his protections around you. Now, this is an amazing concept, but you're going to have to experience it for yourself. If you guys have any questions, ask them in the video comments. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Check out my website, floridastoneman.com. Ciao!